I have decided to take a break. I've been busy working all day. It's 3:30 and I thought I wanted to do a vlog, so this seemed a good time as any. I kind of reached a natural break in what I'm doing for the day. So since I recorded yesterday's vlog, there's a few things come up that I need to talk to you about, predominantly next week's video. It's caused me a little bit of a spin, but I think I've worked out a way around it. So you know I'm making this video for Reflex Lenses. Their Kickstarter launches on the 28th of April, and they want the video to go live on the 28th of April, which is Tuesday week. Which means, which is great, they're a lovely company, I really like working for them, and I have brought the lens out with me today with my phone. Whether I get a chance to mount it and try using it, I'm not sure yet, but I have no doubt it's good. Their lenses are quality lenses. But anyway, the problem that causes me is that to get the video out for Tuesday week, I will need to send it over to them for approval by the end of this coming week, Thursday or Friday, in case any alterations or adjustments, amendments need making and so on. Which means I'm going to spend the whole week making the video, and you can see what I'm leading. That means I won't get a video out on the channel, the main channel, this coming week, because it's going to take a lot of time. I'll go into the preparations I made. Where did that come from? Dropping my consonants. Preparations. My mother would have hated that. She also hated that anyone called me Dave. I have been able to hang up with people on the phone. They say, "Is Dave there?" No Dave here. Anyway, that's because I'm very precious, don't you know? So my thoughts are that what I'm going to do is make a kind of a live BTS making of the film, making of the video. So showing what kit I take with me, showing how I set things up, showing what I'm doing, and as much as possible I'll try and use Apple gear. There's obviously going to be times when I'm not, although luckily the video is about the iPhone 17 Pro Max and the lenses I'm putting on it. So, and I've worked out how to circle back, because obviously, as you know, I don't really shoot much on the phone anymore, but I'm limited on lenses, which is genuine. I basically only use this kit lens. So I'm going to say, you know, it's limited, but when you want to go further, i.e. telephoto, this is, so I think that's the way to tie it back in. So I've worked out the story, worked out the narrative. I'm going to spend the week making the video for them, and what I've been doing, I've decided. I know, George, you told me about the place at Blackfriars. I've just found something on Tower Bridge as well. I think a Premier Inn for about £130 for the night. Looks like and it's right. I've found about 8 shots I can do. Some at night, some first thing in the morning. So my thoughts at the moment are to go up probably Monday night, get into town for maybe, I don't know, 6 o'clock or something like that. I'm going into town, so it shouldn't be as busy. Get to the room, dump everything down in the room. As it gets dark, sort of by 9 o'clock, go and do some night shots on Monday night. Then try and get a bit of sleep. Be up by, say, 4, because I want to capture all of the light coming to light. So get up, say, about 4 on Tuesday morning. Go out and do the morning shots. Take some shots also with the lens, with the reflex lens, during sunlight and so on, of Tower Bridge and that kind of end Shard. That's where I'm going to kind of be. And hopefully then as the day wakes up, I can shoot some on location, talking about Reflex as a company. They've sent me a press pack. There's not a great deal of detail in there, but luckily I think I'm experienced enough now at putting things together. I know the story they want me to tell, so I'm fairly and they've also sent me a really, it's over there at the moment, but a really lovely bag. It's like a shoulder bag. When I walked up here last week, I was carrying the camera and the tripod was really uncomfortable. They sent me this lovely bag. I mean, I was showing it in the video. It's really useful. I'll be using it a lot. It's got pouches in for everything, for SD cards, for all their filters, ND filters. It's got straps underneath where you can put the tripod so you're not carrying a tripod. It's really useful. I can see myself using that an awful lot when I don't need to take my big backpack with me. So anyway, I think that's the story that I'm going to tell for them. It just put me in a spin thinking if I spend all week doing it, then I haven't got a video for the channel. But the only thing I can do is make this kind of live BTS video, because I won't have time, physically won't have time to do anything else. And if I try to do another video with any serious amounts of research and content, like the video I've just done, for instance, then I'd be shortchanging myself, because I wouldn't have enough time to sit down and do it properly. And also now, finally, there's quite a few comments coming down on the main video. We're loving seeing London. Look, I'm not trying to say that I'm a Casey or anything. Far from it. I wouldn't be that arrogant. But when I watch Casey's videos, and when I watch Canuips's videos and see him in Canada, or Pete McKinnon and Matty in Canada, and Casey in New York. I mean, Casey is, let's face it, one of the best tourist attractions of New York. And the fact that people are now beginning to see this capital city in my country and falling in love with it. I mean, somebody said something, there was a comment like, man or dude opens up video in Death Alley or something, because I was in that little alleyway, and it just obviously captured his imagination. It's great, so they're seeing London. So that's really buoyed me on, that I can carry on making videos in London, and this week's will be no exception, of course. So I think that's what I'm going to have to do. I'm really looking forward to making the video for Reflex. And what I've done today so far, so I managed to actually write this week's story on Friday, so that's written. Did the first writing of it yesterday. You know my procedure by now. Then I did a read and a check on it on the iPad, because I wrote on the Mac yesterday, so I did a read and check on the iPad. So I'm going to go to the studio tomorrow, I'm going to drop in pictures. So that story should just about be sitting there ready to publish later in the week. I'll just keep on reading it through the week, you know how I do. Then tomorrow I'm going to go into the studio, gather all the bits together. I didn't bring the Neo home with me, for instance, which I will need while I'm in London overnight. I just need to check I've got all the various bits and bobs that I need to make the video. And I think then, so today I've done that, I've answered comments, done accounts work and stuff, and I have this podcast that I produce with somebody every Saturday. His show finishes at 4 on a Saturday afternoon, so I always have to edit his podcast and drop it into a Dropbox for him so he can pick it up in the morning. So I've got things like that to do. But then what I'm going to do tonight, and also I've looked at all these shots, I found about 8 locations. One or two of them rely on low tide, and it looks like low tide at the moment. It's about 11:30 in the morning and 11:30 in the evening-ish at this time of year. So, and they did say to be careful. There's warnings about taking stuff to cover your footwear because it's muddy, so I might take some carrier bags or something, because I'm a trainers don't get absolutely mullered. But the great thing of having a hotel nearby, of course, now it's gone super, super dark, is that that I won't have to carry lots around. I can just go out and do the bits of shooting that I want, because this hotel looks like it's really, really central. So I can just go out, do the shots that I want, come back, dump those bits down, come, and just ferry around. I won't have to do my normal carrying a huge amount of weight around on my back all day long and walking zillions of miles. I can do everything. Looks like it's fairly compact around the Shard, Tower Bridge, London Bridge, basically. One of the shots I've already done this year, but I shot it in daytime. It's much nicer first thing in the morning with a little bit of mist and kind of atmosphere around it. So I know I'm going to be knackered, but I think it should tell a really good story, and it should look very realistic and gritty as well. So I've looked at the locations. Then I'm going to go back and look at the hotel. And then I think what I'll start doing is looking at the press pack that Reflex have sent me, making some notes. Then on Monday morning, I will organise my head, and tomorrow I'll organise the story that I want to tell in the video, because I find the best way to do it now is for me to just have loads of bullet points made out, well, not bullet points even, just paragraphs or sentences, and then I just go off and ramble. As long as I've given myself reminders of what I need to talk about, then the problems of shooting in sunlight is that then I know I'll be able to tell the tale properly. So that's going to be my plan for the rest of the day. So today I'm going to finish off that, then go into studio tomorrow, get my head straight, get everything organised, and then that put me in a good position to get in to London Monday evening. So I'm going to book the hotel tonight. When I get in, about 130 quid is roughly okay. It's kind of what I thought about 150ish. It looks like it's an okay hotel. So I think it's very near to the one that you suggested, George. So I'm going to, and that'll put me, and I think so, I just need to get in to shoot early in the week, because obviously I need to edit and get the first drafts of them to approve. They're actually fairly straightforward to work with. I worked with somebody else last year on them, but I know this guy and he seems fairly keen, and they set up a WhatsApp group with me yesterday so that we're all sort of singing the same story. And there was something I was going to mention today. Matt, you mentioned about some tube strikes. Thank you for that. Coming up, I will look on tube strikes, check them on Monday. Hopefully, I won't need the tube too much. If everything goes to plan, I should be able to go up to Waterloo, and I can walk to Tower Bridge from Waterloo if needs be. If not, yeah, sure, I'll get the tube. I have walked it, and I'll walk it again. So I think that's the way the week's shaping up. This week's video, the short, I haven't got my phones over a few yards away, so I can't check at the moment. When I last looked, the shorts at the moment are performing fairly solid. I keep linking the main video to them, hoping it's going to drive traffic. I don't know if it does or not, but they're certainly getting some views, and they're good for keeping traction going, both on my website, because that means there's new material on my website every day pretty much, and also hopefully it keeps YouTube happy as well on Google. But everyone's views are down. There's a couple of creators that I used to watch in my space that I looked at last night, and their views are down as well. So I think generally just YouTube tech views are a little bit down at the moment, and Medium, who knows what's happening there. It's ridiculously low at the moment. I'm picking up some native reads from it, but Medium certainly as a platform aren't doing any favours for me whatsoever. But on the whole, I think things are going. And I thought the main video was doing poorly. I think when I last looked, it was tracking about 6 out of 10. But it looks like it's beginning to pick up now. It was in that sort of typical sort of 1600 range that I get in that first 20 hours odd. So, and it hadn't had many impressions either. I think Google then put it out about 20,000 times or something. And the click-through is still about some. This is all the kind of stuff you kind of. I'm not as hung up as I used to be, or some creators I know that absolutely live by looking at data. But interesting how the light performs on this. I think the detail would be very good shooting in log, but obviously you can see when they're shooting movies why they have so much artificial lighting around and baffle boards and stuff to make sure the lighting is consistent. So sorry about that, but the joys and risks of shooting outdoors and not shooting on a smartphone. And also, yeah, Matt, thank you for that, and also Stuart, thank you. Not Stuart, Steve, thank you so much. Yesterday, I shot the vlog and I left it uploading, and I thought, why is it taking so long to export and then so long to upload? Turns out, for whatever reason, Final Cut had put a mirror copy of the end of the file at the end, so I'd taken it and just copied and pasted. So rather than being a 50-minute video, it's a 30-minute video. Thus it took so long to export, thus it took so long to upload. And I was working, I saw this message from Steve, and I thought, oh shit, is there something wrong with the main video? And he said, no, it's on the vlog, I just really enjoyed it, but do you know it repeats? Anyway, luckily, thank you so much for that. Really do appreciate you looking out for my back on that one, Steve, and I managed to cut it off in the editor in YouTube, which I've never used that before actually, but it was just easy to chop that bit off at the end. So hopefully that's only a 15-minute video. I don't bother, I treat these very differently because I treat these very organically and because it's as if we're just talking amongst friends. I don't do all the things that I should be doing. I put a few tags in and I put a few hashtags just so hopefully more people find our channel. But outside that, I don't put end cards. I don't put click to subscribe, I don't do any call to action, and I don't put any cards through the video because that's not what this is about. This is just about having a chat. It really is just a really informal, casual conversation that we're having. So I'm not looking to make this commercial. I would love to see it go past 100 subs though. I really would love to see it go past 100 subs. You just I keep getting the feeling that one day I'm going to wake up and it suddenly hit traction and we're getting loads of extra views and stuff. But a few, as you know, have had sort of 500, which for a channel so small is ridiculously good. And I think with long form, because shorts are viewed very, I think now if you just literally click on the thumbnail, I think that counts as a view. I think I'm right in saying that, but whereas with the long form, you have to watch it for at least, is it a minute to count as a view? So I'm counting those 500, I'm taking those, no one's taken away from me. So yeah, today's been okay. Again, it's going to be another 7-day week. It'll be a 7-day vlogging week. I will vlog tomorrow as well, probably from the studio. It makes sense, I've got to go in anyway. And then I'll definitely be vlogging from London. Possibly, depending on what time I get. If I'm going into London for sort of 6ish, I might hold back on the vlog, and I just hope I've got enough speed up there. There is Wi-Fi. I could put a VPN on my MacBook Neo and try to use the room's Wi-Fi rather than using 5G. And hopefully, if I keep it shortish and uploading 1080 rather than 4K, I'll be able to get a vlog up while I'm up there. So if it's a 1080 video, you'll know why. It's just me making sure I get something up. I'm hooked on this now. I really am. Also, last week I was really pissed off when I recorded here because I've got two. You know, I've got two happy places: London, the complete opposite of this, and then my park. And kind of, I don't know if I'm going to be able to do this or not, but I'm going. No, I won't risk it. Literally, just round the corner there is when you see the grass bank over there. I often sit there during the summer, and it is gorgeous. I sort of come there and just think, bring an iPad, make some notes. Sometimes come without any tech at all, and just sit and absorb the world, because it's really important, as you know, for the amount of time I spend A, indoors, B, thinking, and C, trying to create something, to just to sit and do nothing. As you can tell, my mind is wired today. I'm on it. I'm really on it. I got up pretty much at 8 o'clock and kind of just like bang straight into it and just knew what I had to do today. I'm really happy as well. My third... I know it sounds ridiculous. My third Tag Heuer, which wasn't working, was just a battery. There's a jeweller's in the village. I went in there, £20. I thought that was a right result. They just said, oh, it might not be waterproof anymore. It's like, no. And also, I used visual search I've got 3 tags, and I can't, from various wives or girlfriends over the years, I'll not go into that story right now, but there was only one I could remember who it's from because she put an engraving on it. The other 2, and they both blue Tag Heuers, I could not remember. Now, because of the year that they said they were made, I know who I was with. It's made me sound terrible. But so anyway, I managed to kind of date the watches as well. I just love these tags. So yeah, I don't foresee me wearing the Apple Watch again for a long time, to be honest. I'm not really missing it. I kind of know if I've done my steps. And the phone, anyway, records my step. Walking here today, the phone and the AirPods did it, so there was no need. But anyway, yeah, got more to go and do, but today's sort of going fairly well, so I'll get back, get this uploaded. Hope the colour's not varying too much with the clouds. What I'm looking for is a cloudless day. That would be absolutely perfect to shoot in, but all I can tell you is it's a beautiful spring day here in the UK. It's done the soul well to get out for a few moments. So anyway, I will speak to you on Sunday. Enjoy the rest of your Saturday and the weekend.